Tottenham will welcome Arsenal to Tottenham's Hotspur Stadium in an extremely important North London derby this Sunday. This is a big match for the championship race and also for the fourth place on the chart. In the previous round, Arsenal defeated Chelsea with the worst win in their history over the Blue with a score of 5-0, and in this round they will enter another London derby against Tottenham. Mikel Arteta is very determined to make history after 20 years when their opponent is now Manchester City. As for Tottenham, they're 6 points behind Aston Villa, but the Spurs are playing less than 2 matches. So they can completely reclaim themselves in the Champions League next season. That's the only way to see the importance of the clash over the weekend. Not only is it honourable because it's the oldest North London derby, but it also determines the key positions on the table this season. But when we get into this crucial phase, the host team is not getting the strongest force. Destiny Udegi's season ended after undergoing a hip surgery, while Pedro Porro was forced to leave the field due to an injury in the second half of his loss to Newcastle. In public, everything seems more likely. Richarlison is expected to be healthy after about 3 weeks break. Your presence will push Son Heung-min to the left-wing hallway. The opposite side is likely to be Brennan Johnson, the Spurs' highest-ranking forward. As for Arsenal, Jurrien Timber is the only one missing due to the team's injury. Arsenal will have the strongest force in this game. With Ange Postecoglou, he may not have both of his familiar options in the position of wing guard in the face of Arsenal. Porro may not recover in time for the battle on Sunday. Spurs number 23 has contributed 7 lines in the Premier League this season. The player was ranked in the top 10 of the tournament's top afterguards with a total of 82 blows, 98 returns to the ball. If Pedro Porro can't recover in time for the field, then Emerson Royal is likely to replace him for this position. On the opposite side, Udegi's replacement is likely to be Ben Davies. Despite the limitations on the 31-year-old's ability to support the attack. At the Spurs right now, Maddison and Son Heung-min are the most dangerous players. But Son Heung-min's last 3 games were rather disappointing when without a goal. The Spurs captain didn't even get a shot at the goal in a 0-4 defeat against Newcastle. Let's look forward to a more positive performance after the Korean players' break. Arsenal is now getting a high flight. In the last 3 Premier League matches, Arteta's students have scored 9 goals, the nearest being a 5-0 victory over Chelsea City. Meanwhile, Kai Havertz has scored 11 goals and 5 goals in the Premier League so far, while Bukayo Saka scored 14 and 9 respectively. Not to mention captain Martin Odegaard, who made 8 big changes with Chelsea, the most from one Arsenal player in a Premier League game, since Mesut Ozil did the same thing in October 2017. The right wing where Odegaard and Saka and Benjamin White formed the most frightening Premier League trio. Thomas Partey's return was a remarkable highlight. For the first time since Community Shield, he joined Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard in the midfielder line against Chelsea. The fact is that in about half a month Tottenham hasn't played. Arsenal has played 4 games. There are fears that the Gunners will be physically disadvantaged, but Mikel Arteta says the confidence of the players is enough to be in a good mood when the Gunners enter the North London derby this Sunday. Arsenal will have a huge momentum before entering the weekend derby. If they win the Spurs, St. Totteringham's Day will happen. For those of you who don't know, St. Totteringham's Day is the name given to the day Tottenham couldn't finish the season over Arsenal in the Premier League. It's rumored to have originated in 2001, but it became popular around 2010. Now Arsenal's return to North London once again is only a matter of time, but the goal of Mikel Arteta, however, is still 3 points to nurture the hope of winning the Premier League. Liverpool lost in a derby and excluded themselves from the championship race. Arsenal didn't expect the same thing to happen to them. And let's just wait to see if the Gunners could take the high stand and win 3 points at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, or if the Spurs would become an unpleasant obstacle and save themselves in the race for the UEFA Champions League position.